Hey boys and girls, today for math we're on Module 7, Lesson 17. Today we're going to use all four operations to solve problems involving perimeter and unknown measurements. Hey, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review some multiplication. 8 times blank equals 8. What's the number? 1, correct. 8 times 1 equals 8. 2 times blank equals 8. Think. What goes in the blank? 4. Correct. 2 times 4 equals 8. Blank times 2 equals 8. What number would go in the blank? 4. Correct. Here's the one you're going to type in. Hey boys and girls, now we're going to do another set. 12 times blank equals 12. What times 12 equals 12? Correct. 1 equals 12. 2 times blank equals 12. What times 2 will equal 12? Type your number in the box. Correct. If you typed in 6, you are correct. 2 times 6 equals 12. Hey boys and girls, now we're going to review perimeter. Each shape that I show you is a regular polygon. What is the given side length of the triangle? Fill in the factors. P is equal to blank times blank. What is the perimeter of my triangle? So remember boys and girls, if it is a regular polygon, that means all sides of your triangle will have the same length, and so you can just use multiplication to figure out my perimeter. And remember, the perimeter is the distance all the way around the shape. So go ahead and figure out your perimeter and type it in. So if you typed in for your perimeter 4 times 3 equals 12, so perimeter equals 12, you are correct. Oops, 12 cm, you are correct. Hey, here's another perimeter problem. What is the given side length of the square? Our given side length is 7. Fill in the factors. P is equal to blank times blank centimeters. So if I know that I have 4 sides on my square and each side length measures 7, what would I fill in down here for my equation to figure out the perimeter? Go ahead and fill in your missing numbers and then type in your perimeter. So I know that my square has 4 sides times 7 centimeters on each side. So 4 times 7 is equal to 28. So my perimeter would be 28 centimeters. Here's my next problem. What is the given side length of the hexagon? Our given side length is 8 meters. Fill in the factors. P is equal to blank times blank centimeters. So how many sides are on my hexagon times my side length? Go ahead and figure out the perimeter of the hexagon and type it in. So I have 6 sides on my hexagon and each side is 8 meters. That would mean my perimeter would be 6 sides times 8 meters is equal to 48 meters. P is equal to 48 meters. Okay, what is the given side length of my octagon? Here's my given side length. Fill in the factors. P is equal to blank times blank cm. Go ahead and figure out your perimeter for my octagon. So my octagon has 8 sides and each side length is 9 feet. So I would take 8 times 9 is equal to 72. So my perimeter is equal to 72 feet. Application problem. Gil places two regular hexagons side by side as shown to make a new shape. Each side measures 6 centimeters. Find the perimeter of his new shape. So if I was going to solve this problem, boys and girls, I would know that my regular hexagon, each side length is 6 centimeters. So I know that this side is 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. So remember, my perimeter is the area on the outside, or is the distance around the outside of my shape. So I know that each side length is 6 centimeters, so I could either do repeated addition to figure out my perimeter, or I could use multiplication. Go ahead and find the perimeter of Gil's new shape. So you can see here that there are 10 sides on Gil's new shape. So I could use multiplication to figure out my perimeter. 10 sides times 6 centimeters on each side gives me a perimeter of 60 centimeters. Okay, boys and girls, so now we're going to get into our new concept for today. So here I have a polygon that doesn't really look like anything that we figured out for perimeter before, unless it was me walking around our churchyard. So can we visualize the rectangles that make up this shape? Let's find the perimeter of this shape. So right now I am missing two side lengths. I am missing side length up here. We're going to call this one A. And I'm missing this side length here. We're going to call this one B. So I'm missing side length A and side B. I don't know my lengths of those, but I do know this side length. Oops. And I know this side is 2 centimeters. This side length is 1 centimeter, and my bottom altogether is 5 centimeters. So now I'm going to look at my shape to see how I can figure out side length A and side length B. So I'm looking at my shape and I see that I can divide it into two smaller rectangles. I'm going to split it right up here, and I have rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. So I can look at rectangle number 1. I'm going to look at the bottom of my whole shape and see that down here, if this side length and this side length are the same distance, so then this section right here is 2 centimeters. And if that whole line is 5 centimeters, and I know that this section is 2 centimeters, then that tells me that this section of my rectangle is 3 centimeters. And this section of the rectangle is the same size as this section, so therefore A is equal to 3 centimeters. And I can do the same thing over here, because I need to find now my length for side length B. So I know that side length B is equal to this side over here. And I know that this section from here to here is 3. And I know that this section from here to here is the same as this section, has the same measurement, and that one is 1. So I can add 3 plus 1 equals 4. So side length B would be 4 centimeters. So now I have all the side lengths of my shape. So now I can figure out my perimeter. So I have 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 5. And then I can add all those together to find the perimeter of the whole shape. So I'm going to add my 2 plus 1, which gives me 3, and now I have 3 3's, which gives me 9. 5 plus 4 equals 9, plus 9 more equals 18. So my perimeter is equal to 18 centimeters. And so here we can see that shape again. We figured out that this side length is 4, and this side length was 3. And then when I add up all the sides of my shape, I know that my perimeter is 18. On this shape, they cut up my shape a little bit differently. So earlier we cut up with our 2 rectangles here, but this time they cut it so you have rectangle 1 here and rectangle 2 here. And so it doesn't matter how we split up our shape into rectangles, because we will still have the same perimeter. Okay, boys and girls, so now we're going to figure out the perimeter of this shape. So right now I can see that I am missing my measurements for this side. I'll call this side A. And I know that this one is 2 inches. Let's see. So 2 inches, 2 inches. I'm not sure what this side length is, so we'll call this one B. I know that this one is the same size as this one, so this one would be 2 inches. This one is 2 inches. This side is 3 inches. And my whole top is 5 inches. So now we can look at our shape when we need to see that we can need to figure out side length A and side length B. So I can see that side length A is the same distance as side length B. So side length A is equal to 3 inches. So now I just need to figure out side length B. So I can split it into these smaller rectangles. So I have 3 smaller rectangles, and I know that this distance right here, wait, no, just kidding, I don't want to do that. We're not going to split our rectangles there. We're going to split our rectangles right here. Okay. So I can see that this distance and this distance are the same, so this would be 2. And this distance and this distance is the same, so this one would be 2. And the whole distance all the way across is 5. So I have 5 minus 2 equals 1. So this little tiny section in here has a measurement of 1 inch. So now that I know all of my side lengths, I can add them together. So I can take 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 equals, and then I can add all these numbers together to find my perimeter. So I have lots of 2's, so I have 1, 2, 3,